Starmer has seen Angela's Furburger. Oh no. I believe, personally, my personal opinion is that Keir Starmer's gay. He seems gay to me. My gaydar goes off.
Editor of the Evening Standard. He's not a journalist, not much of a politician either. He's got this, what's he got, 6 jobs or something?
Yeah, something like that.
He believes in the quantity of his jobs rather than the quality.
When it comes to shaking up political discussions, few figures are as polarising and attention-grabbing as Katie Hopkins. Her latest revelations about Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, have created ripples across the UK, sparking fiery debates and raising eyebrows everywhere.
Is Keir Starmer gay? Must be. Keir Starmer? Come on. I'd bet on it, wouldn't you? He seems gay, he looks gay, he dresses gay. His sort of outlook is gay.
Known for her sharp critiques and unapologetic delivery, Hopkins' latest exposé of Starmer's so-called dark secret has taken the political landscape by storm. What exactly is she accusing him of? And how are these accusations fueling a growing wave of public discontent?
Staying in Lord Alley's apartment, it's a bit gay. Being there for a month and a half, quite gay. Probably gay. Must be gay. I mean, that's the rumour, I guess, Westminster rumour and has been for the longest time. But I don't know the answer, but I wouldn't you love it? Bastard Keir Starmer is now looking, they're launching a review at the Modernisation Committee. I'm not allowed to do Joey Deacon, but it's called the Modernisation Committee.
Katie Hopkins has built her reputation on being unafraid to challenge authority and call out perceived hypocrisy in public figures. Whether you love or hate her, there's no denying her ability to capture the nation's attention. Recently, her critiques of Keir Starmer have resonated with millions, particularly as she calls into question his leadership of the Labour Party.
It's my view that our new Prime Minister is a narcissistic, greedy, thin-skinned, dishonest man posing as somebody honourable.
The uproar began when Hopkins pointed to Starmer's alleged censorship of certain public figures, including Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson, who have been outspoken critics of Labour's policies. According to Hopkins, this isn't just a political manoeuvre. It's an attempt to silence dissent and suppress alternative perspectives.
So the plan is, Keir Starmer wants to ban Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson, for that matter, from being able to be on GB News.
In a world where free speech is fiercely debated, Hopkins argues that Starmer's actions reflect a dangerous precedent. By allegedly banning high-profile figures from platforms like GB News, she claims Starmer is fostering a culture of censorship that threatens the democratic values the UK holds dear.
So they are now launching something in the Modernisation Committee, which will basically say you're not going to be allowed to host your own show, presumably, on other networks. And, you can't help but feel like the ban of smoking in pub gardens is also just a joke, at Nigel Farage's expense, just to piss him off. But bloody hell.
Is silencing critics a sign of strong leadership or the opposite?
Asking the questions. There's a petition out there, 2 million people asking him to go.
Amid these controversies, a viral petition demanding accountability from Keir Starmer has gained significant traction, surpassing 2.9 million signatures. This petition isn't just about one issue. It encapsulates a wide range of frustrations, from broken promises to rising taxes and the perceived neglect of the working class.
Well, let me just reassure you that it's actually really easy, because I don't normally do these things either, but I thought this thing is getting ahead of steam, and I think...
Hopkins has been a vocal supporter of this movement, amplifying the voices of ordinary citizens who feel ignored by their government. According to her, this petition represents a growing demand for transparency and a leadership style that prioritises the needs of the public over political expediency. Can a petition with millions of signatures force a political reckoning?
I am absolutely with you and the millions of people who think this bloke is a disgrace. He has no plan, he has no conviction, he has no backbone. I don't buy this government at all. It makes me furious with the shambles that was the Tory party.
Instead, Hopkins argues, Starmer appears unwilling to face tough questions and engage in meaningful debates. For many, This is an important question. Can a leader who avoids confrontation truly represent the people? Hopkins believes the answer is no. Is Keir Starmer's approach to leadership strengthening his position or undermining it?
Up politics, but wound up cleaning up on freebies instead.
Perhaps one of the most emotional and impactful parts of Hopkins' critique centres around the treatment of older generations under Starmer's leadership. She highlights the struggles faced by pensioners who, after decades of contribution to society, now find themselves grappling with soaring energy bills, inadequate healthcare and dwindling social support.
It's Keir Starmer, and I'm here to fuck the foundations. When I became your Prime Minister, not only did I get new hair and glasses provided by a donor who now has full access to 10 Downing Street and my bedroom, we were promised three things. Number one, we would be fully costed and fully funded. We're so fully funded and fully costed, we're essentially just like Katie Price.
Hopkins shares personal stories of pensioners who feel abandoned and invisible, emphasising their frustration and despair. She asks a pointed question. Where are older adults supposed to find the money to cover skyrocketing costs?
Our energy prices of the whole summer, when you don't need your heating on, they put the price down. The minute it's fucking freezing and we're about to go into properly Baltic, they shove the price up by 10%. And my question is, where are elderly people supposed to get an extra 150 quid or 1,500?
For Hopkins, this isn't just a policy issue, it's a moral one. She accuses Starmer's government of prioritising abstract goals over the immediate needs of vulnerable citizens, effectively leaving pensioners to fend for themselves. When did caring for our elders stop being a priority?
In order to make the £22 billion hole in the budget even worse, we have spunked a whole bunch of cash at train drivers and junior doctors. This guarantees two things. Number one, they will vote Labour. Number two, nurses and teachers will be on strike again.
Hopkins also raises the Labour Party's approach to housing as a contentious topic. She criticises Starmer for policies that seem to prioritise housing for migrants over British citizens, including homeless individuals who have been waiting years for council housing.
We also promised to tread more lightly on people. We're doing this by arresting 11 and 12-year-old white boys in their own homes, even though their mothers are off partying in Ibiza. Typical. And if you're a wife of a Tory councillor, please know that we will send you to Birmingham in order to be given your sentencing, because local communities need to see us sacrificing white people in order that we can secure their votes next election. Also be crucifying anybody critical of this regime.
While acknowledging the importance of supporting migrants, Hopkins argues that this shouldn't come at the expense of the British public. For her, true leadership means finding a balance that ensures everyone has access to necessities, regardless of their background.
If I get my hands on that slag Katie Hopkins, she's well and truly fucked. Elderly people, I will crush you. I will take your bus passes, I will take your heat, and I will take the joy from your life, and you will die early, because the way we can ease the burden on the NHS is by crushing people.
Can a government truly serve its people if it fails to address their housing needs? Hopkins also targets Starmer's handling of taxation, accusing him of breaking promises that he and Deputy Leader Angela Rayner made to working-class families. When Labour vowed not to raise taxes, many saw this as a beacon of hope. Yet, with taxes now rising, that promise feels like a betrayal to those already struggling to make ends meet.
The issue is that Keir Starmer is none of those things. Keir Starmer is not Maloney. Keir Starmer does not work for the people. Keir Starmer does not represent democracy. He works for his superiors.
For working class citizens, financial stability is more than a luxury, it's a necessity. Hopkins argues that Starmer's tax hikes disproportionately affect the most vulnerable, forcing families to make tough choices between paying bills and buying essentials.
Actually, it would be that way round. Would it? Who'd be doing who? I get the impression Phil would be receiving. Possibly one shouldn't speculate too far. How funny would that be? Cut to picture of coconut, palm tree, pan down. Phil Schofield being buggered by Keir Starmer.
Katie Hopkins often highlights the growing divide between the urban elite driving policy decisions and rural communities bearing the brunt of these changes. Many in rural areas feel alienated by Keir Starmer's leadership, believing overshadows their struggles. Them, the Ollerton focus of his government, overshadows their struggles.
The really important thing here is Keir Starmer joins a group of individuals, formerly Biden, Kamala, Obama before that, all leaders in the EU, left-leaning leaders, Ireland and others, who have no intention of trying to stop the movement of human flesh. The modern slave trade is so incredibly profitable, and it rewards them because they're doing their bidding of the masters.
This disconnect is not just about policy. It reflects a deeper cultural divide. Rural citizens often feel excluded from the decision-making process and believe their concerns need to be understood or addressed by politicians focused on urban priorities. For them, Hopkins' critiques resonate, representing a broader frustration with a political system that seems to have lost touch with everyday realities in major cities.
Good gay, like a gay, like a Macron gay, a Trudeau gay, shady little bastard gay. So I would say Keir Starmer's gay. Yeah, that would be my personal opinion. And undoubtedly what will happen now is Channel 4 News, as happened this week, will be given advance warning in order to come with the West Midlands Police Force, because they're big supporters of mine, and bang on my door and arrest me for alleging Keir Starmer might be gay.
One of the most contentious points in Hopkins' critiques of Keir Starmer is her assertion that freedom of speech is under attack. She views recent efforts to regulate media platforms and censor controversial figures as evidence of a broader agenda to silence dissenting voices. While proponents of these measures argue they are necessary to combat misinformation, critics like Hopkins warn they set a dangerous precedent.
Bastard Keir Starmer is now they're launching a review at the Modernisation Committee. I'm not allowed to do Joey Deacon, but it's called the Modernisation Committee. Keir Starmer is frickin' fully Kim Jong Starmer, isn't he?
Under Starmer's leadership, there have been calls for stricter regulations on news outlets like GB News, which Hopkins defends as platforms for alternative perspectives. She believes that targeting such outlets represents an attempt to control public discourse rather than engage in open debate. Hopkins' stance reflects a growing concern that suppressing diverse opinions undermines democracy, leaving citizens with limited avenues to challenge the status quo.
You know, one shouldn't wish sterility on anyone, and I genuinely don't. But I genuinely hope that woman has never had offspring, because one Rachel Reeves is quite enough. She is a nasty, sulphuric little biatch.
Another recurring theme in Hopkins' critique is the financial burden of ideological policies on ordinary citizens. From climate change initiatives to immigration policies, she argues that the Labour government prioritises abstract ideals over practical solutions. Policies designed to combat environmental issues, for example, often lead to increased energy bills and stricter regulations that disproportionately impact working-class families.
Rachel Reeves, what would you like them to do? Would you like them to what? Auction off a kidney, maybe? I mean, what use is a fucking 85-year-old kidney? It's probably knackered. It's had that much piss go through it over a whole lifetime. They can't sell one of them. What do you want them to sell? Their eyeballs, but the half of them can't fucking see because they're 95.
Similarly, Hopkins questions whether Starmer's immigration policies are sustainable, pointing to the financial strain on housing, healthcare and social services. She contends that these policies, while noble in intent, need more infrastructure and funding for their implementation.
Where are they supposed to find the money? Well, under a mattress, really? That's what really bugs me, is it's going to cost them more. Okay, where are they supposed to get it? What, they're going to go out and work, are they? Can't see, can't hear properly. Some of them can barely move. They're buggered, they're knackered, they've paid in all their bastard lives. And now you want them to what rustle up, just go out and stand on a street corner? You know, old bloody Mavis auctioning off her front bits in order to pay her energy bill.
Hopkins is not the only one voicing these concerns. Across the UK, there is a palpable sense of disillusionment with Starmer's leadership. Polls, social media and public forums reveal widespread frustration, with many questioning whether he is truly the right person to lead the country.
They won't be happy till some poor person freezes to death, and they do. They decide not to put their heating on because they're conscientious. They sit there, sorry, I've got a hair on my lip. I hope it didn't fall out of my moustache. Don't know what it is. They won't put it on because they don't want to run into debt.
At the heart of Hopkins' critique is a passionate defence of free speech. She believes that true accountability comes from facing criticism head-on, not silencing it. For Hopkins, this principle is non-negotiable, and she accuses Starmer of undermining it through his alleged attempts to ban dissenting voices.
Ceramic bob head that she puts on, and as soon as she puts it on, evil power flows into her 2 fucking brain cells, and then she goes, right, now we're gonna take the fuel from pensioners, fuck them. I don't know if she speaks like that, but you know, oh, now we're gonna take their bus passes so they die in the cold, lonely and alone and sad.
This stance resonates with many who feel that open dialogue is essential for a healthy democracy. Hopkins argues that stifling criticism not only weakens leadership, but also erodes the public's trust in government institutions. A leader who stifles dissent ever truly represents the people?
She's also a friggin' maniac, isn't she? Her with the, you know, the one with the ceramic bob head. She's got like that dark hair that's cut like here, and it looks like it's made out of ceramic. Like it's attached, you know, like Lego, when you get Lego and you get like the hair, and you put the Lego, ooh, we need to make a Lego Rachel Reeves. Lego Keir Starmer.
Katie Hopkins' critique of Keir Starmer is more than just a political commentary, it's a call to action. She challenges the Labour leader to listen to the people, address their concerns and deliver on his promises. For Hopkins and her supporters, the stakes couldn't be higher.
If you're listening and you're really old, that hair's still there. Can I just say, put your bloody heating on, darlings. Put it on. If you get debt or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just put the bastard thing on. And if someone comes to your door knocking and they've got a badge from some heating company, don't open your door. Just do what you have to do to survive this, because the pricing is bullshit. The stakeholders and the shareholders are rolling in it. Look after yourself and throw away your bills.
As the UK faces economic challenges, social inequalities, and a growing sense of disconnection between leaders and citizens, the demand for accountability is louder than ever. Whether Starmer can rise to this challenge remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. The public is watching, and they're demanding a leader who will stand up for their needs, not just their political survival.